What's up, rock stars? It's Rox coming to you today with the review for SWV and Xscape, Queens of R&B, Season 1, Episode 2. So, you guys, the show is going to be good. I can tell, but I can also tell that it's going to be tiring watching this thing with Xscape play out. Now, I know we all said we wanted to see what the problem is, but the problem is the same problem that they've been having since the last time that we saw them on the show. And it's the same problem that they had when we saw Tasha on damn what is it? R&B What the hell was the show that she was? I was just like, I had to go back and really refresh of how we felt about Tasha, because I was starting to get it confused, but I'm clear. I remember now. I remember. And Tasha and Rocky, whew. You know, nigga don't want to be singling people out and everything, but they are going to be a whole lot this season. Anyway, you guys, the review. Let's get to it, shall we? So the show starts where it ended last week, which was with the mama trying to get rid of the camera crew because Tamika had done spilled the beans that Tasha and Rocky had done stole her money. Okay. And because they had got kicked out of the mama's house, now we cutting up out in front of the house, you know, on the street. And Tamika is yelling, you know, just like, I'm not lying. She's tired of being treated like this. She's not coming over her mother's house anymore if this is the way they're going to be doing her. So yeah, the mama keep on saying, cut these cameras off, cut the cameras off. They was like, baby, we is outside now. It is all open. Okay. Tamika maintains that Tasha and the mama didn't want the world to know what was going on. Okay. And she was tired of staying quiet. So now we all know. $30,000. Yeah, that's a good little bit of change, you know. Tamika said this is what she's been dealing with for years, and I feel bad for Tamika because that mom is special. Now, jumping over to Candy, we see Candy at the candy factory, and she's calling out to Esther. Esther, did you get the stuff? We don't know what the stuff is, but soon we see Esther come out and Candy sit on down with some wings, okay? Tiny come in. I guess she's meeting the girls there at the candy factory. So Tiny comes in, you know, Candy, where you at? And then here comes Tamika. Tiny was just like, wait a minute, I didn't get the memo that we were supposed to be all dressed up. You know? Girl, shit. Tiny was like, this is just regular life for her. But anyway, the three of them are there, and Candy was just like, where's Tasha? And girl, well, you already know. There's always something with Tasha. Tamika tells them how they had a family meeting the night before and it didn't go well. You know, Tiny was like, oh, Lord, what done happened? So she tells them how, you know, she brought up the fact that Tasha had done stole her damn money and all this was going on while her, you know, she had a child in college. She was pregnant. It don't even matter what was going on at the time, bitch. That's my money, okay? That's my money, okay? My money. That meme cracks me up. Anyway, yeah, that's her money. It don't matter if it was $30,000 or $30. Like, they had no right to take that girl money. And at the time, she needed that money. You know, again, it don't matter if you needed it or not. But she says that Tasha kept going on and on about being body shamed. And that was really just all of her argument that day. So, yeah, you know, Tamika says she don't really know what happened. But she was real disappointed in her mom. And, you know, then she kind of starts crying. And, you know, Candy, oh, Tamika, don't cry. And Tamika's like, you guys already know. You guys already know. I have never gone against my sister. Okay. And they both was like, both Tiny and Candy was like, absolutely, we know. Tamika blindly followed Tasha because that was her sister, but she lets Candy and Tiny listen to the voicemail that the mom left. And the mom was fussing at Tamika. To me, I'm just thinking to myself, like, you watched that whole thing go down. When stuff like that happens, it's best for the mother to just stay out of it. Let the kids handle it. Okay, they are grown. You don't have to step in and referee anymore. I had to have that conversation. One time, Joe had to have this conversation with me. Child, I was in the tub, and all of a sudden, I could hear Joe and Jada. I'm talking about, you know, them two used to fight, like fight, okay? And so one day, just like maybe a year or two ago, I was in the tub one night, and I could hear them arguing, and I knew it was about to get really just a mess. So I hurried up and jumped up out of the tub, and I, you know, nigga just put the towel, just was holding it, dripping wet and everything. And I rushed out there to the hallway, and they were in the hallway arguing. And I'm trying to get in it like, you guys, you know, I'm trying to break it up. And Joe was like, Mom, we are grown. You need to stay out of it. Let us handle this. Let us discuss it. Let us figure it out. Don't come in here. You don't have to interrupt us. We got it. We got it. Go back, get in the tub. I was like, oh. Okay. So I went back in the tub. You know, I was stressed out, right? And they argued for a little while longer. And then next thing I know, they had then figured it out. And I was so proud that Joe was like, Mom, we was like, we not gonna fight. We ain't gonna be getting the hitting and all of that. Just let us talk. And I was just like, okay. And now I've realized that, yeah, when your kids get older, you can't be in the middle of that shit anymore. Kids have dynamics between the two of them. Sometimes the parents are aren't even aware of some of the things that your kids might be going through together, you know? So yeah, I got out of it and it worked. And so my advice to Tamika mama is to do the same. But honey, Tamika mama was just like, you got a whole lot of nerve coming over here accusing your sister of stealing the money. You know she didn't steal no money. And if I hear about you jumping on your sister, you know, I'm a kick your ass, basically. That's what the mom said. She didn't say ass though. She said tail. But she was like, I'm gonna whoop your tail. And I was just like, we ain't no whipping of tails. I'm almost fucking 50 fucking years old, and you want to tell me that I can't? No. Okay. And while the mama doing all of this, did she call Tasha and say the same thing? Because Tasha was arguing with her too, you know, even though Tasha didn't bring up the allegations or whatever. But Tasha, you know, so it was just like the mom should have. The mom just, Of course, Tamika's upset about it, and Candy and Tiny are trying to tell her, you know, it's going to be okay. They proud of her that now she is sticking up for herself and not just blindly following behind Tasha, because flat out Tasha wrong. Tiny was just like, we need to try to hash it out, because our problem is we be holding shit in and nothing gets dealt with, and then it blows up and it's a big mess. And they all agree that they do need to hash it out. But you see, it's just the three of them there today. Tasha ain't really trying. And speaking of Tasha, we see Tasha with Rocky. Tasha brings up the fact that Tamika is accusing them of stealing $30,000 and how it's not true, it's a lie. But I'm thinking to myself, this ain't nothing that we just can't even handle right now. Like, let's get the paperwork out. It shouldn't be that difficult to look at the paperwork and see what account it went into, whose name was on this account. How was they even able to get to this girl's check like this? I know that Rocky has managed them at some point. Was this during the time that he was managing them? You know, like, I still got a lot of questions. But I'm past the point of you just saying that you ain't did it. I'm going to need some proof. Because right now we side-eyeing Rocky, okay? And Tasha. So I'm not buying the she just lying. So he was just like, well, y'all in this group, you know, trying to sound all concerned. Y'all in this group and, you know, y'all got to try to work it out. They trying to figure out if they can do this whole SWV tour. And she says that she not going to have no conversation with Tamika until Tamika apologizes for disrespecting the mother. And I said, Tamika did not say anything disrespectful to her mother. Yes, she did raise her voice. Okay. But it wasn't no cursing at the mama. She wasn't calling the mama a liar. She didn't call the mom no names or nothing. She was directing all that anger and vitriol towards Tasha. But Tasha has figured out a way, and she probably has been doing this for years, but has figured out a way to make it seem like Tamika is disrespectful to the mother. And this is another way, kind of like a controlling mechanism for her to be able to get Tamika to do what she wants her to do. I'm not doing nothing until you apologize to mama. What's next for the group? And she says, well, she's questioning whether or not she even want to be in the group. I was like, boy, I don't know why Tasha just cannot. Why can't you just do the job of being in the group and then moving on? Do what you got to do, but let's do this. I just really, and this is the same stuff that we have been talking about for at least 10 years. Okay. Makes no sense. Now let's jump over to Lily. So Lily tells us that, she has a sister, Jeanette. Jeanette is like the matriarch of the family after her mother passed. Both of her parents, I believe, are dead. She moved here in Atlanta, she said, back in the 90s because she wanted to be closer to her mother, and she's just still here. So she just tells us kind of a little bit about her background, how she had dreams when she was younger. You know, she wanted to do all of these things, and at 15 she got pregnant. So that kind of derailed at least school anyway, but she still went on with her singing career. You know, she still wanted to be in SWV. They were in the studio all during that time. So that was just kind of the course that her life took. She tells us how they felt when they heard their first demo on the radio, their first song on the radio. How exciting it is. You guys have heard many artists tell us the same. And she said overnight, it was like an overnight sensation. All of a sudden she had money, and the first thing that she bought was a king size bed. Now later on we see Tamika and Taj meet up. Taj is on a fast, so she don't get whatever it was. I think Tamika had got a smoothie or something like that. They're gonna sit down and they're going to talk. Taj is telling Tamika how she loved all of her ideas at the meeting that they had. You know, they kind of on the same page when it comes to the concert, come to the tour, you know, all the things that they want to do. But what about Tasha? Has Tasha come around yet? And she was just like, nope. So Tamika starts to get emotional, and, you know, Taj was just like, oh, you know, it's okay. It's going to be okay. And she was just like, you know, I'm never going to lie on my sister. But the mom has always taken Tasha's side, and Tamika is, you know, as a grown woman, tired of it, you know. Taj tells her, maybe you need to go to like therapy to try to figure out like, why is it that you felt like you needed to always agree with Tasha? And she was like, oh, I already know why I did it. You know, that was the only way to really gain my mother's love. My mom's approval depended on whether or not she supported whatever bullshit that Tasha came with. And that actually made me sad. You know, she just felt like she was having to always agree just to get some sort of love out of the mom. That's not any way to live. So Taj was like, yeah, the mama need to step to the side to let them work it out. Try to work it out with your sister, but you also need to take care of yourself as well. Later on, child, we see the girls all meet up over at Tiny's house. You know, Tiny was just like, you know, I got 5 houses, so I got 5 kitchens, and I don't know. You know, she don't know where everything is. All right, rich people problems. She said they not rich though. She said we just, you know, we live pretty comfortably. I said, no, baby, y'all rich. Okay. So she's making creamsicle mimosas for the girls, and we gonna have another damn meeting. Tiny was just like, we gonna have this meeting. And Tiny was just like, we gonna have this meeting. I can't do the Tiny voice. Tiny was like, we're going to have this meeting so that Tamika and Tasha can get on the same page. Let's get to the bag, y'all. So finally, when Tasha brings up the rear, it's uncomfortable. It's tense. She almost is like a dark cloud. I sure hate to be saying this about people, but that is what it is. Like, Tasha comes in and the whole wave of everything just changes. Tasha's whole feeling is that Tamika still ain't apologized to the mom, so she ain't really even trying to talk to Tamika. The only reason why she's there is just out of her love for Tiny. Not for the group, just Tiny. So we sit down, we gonna start. Okay, Tasha, you can start. Tasha says she don't want to. Okay. Candy says, well, I think that we just need to get new management. Okay, because as far as Candy is concerned, they done had this management for a minute and they ain't really doing nothing. So why are we even paying them to represent us? But here's going to be the problem. The management company that has them apparently is close friends with Rocky and Tasha. And do I even need to say more about that? Tasha, how do you feel about that? And she was just like, I gotta pray about it. And Candy was just like, whenever she don't give an answer, that's because she got to go home and talk to her brain. Okay? Can't make no decisions without Rocky. And you guys know how that can be annoying. While they was talking about how Rocky has like this overwhelming influence and control over Tasha, they show a clip where she's actually sitting in the confessional. He comes and he's whispering in her ear. And the producer was just like, what are you whispering in her ear? Like, nigga, move. Okay, we trying to film here. So now Tasha starts to say how they're dysfunctional, how they don't never deal with things just continue to blow up. Well, when you gonna shut shit down, you say you're not gonna talk to Tamika until she apologizes to your mama, who has nothing to do with this group, then how do we move forward? Yes, you and your sister have your special issues, but when it comes to the group, Now, why I got to get held up because you mad that she told your mama off? She ain't even went off on the mama like that, you know? So this is, that's why the whole sister thing makes things even worse. Tiny was like, we need to buckle down and put the personal aside. And Tasha was like, easier said than done. Well, maybe you two can just hash it out now. Since we all here, well, like I said, Tasha's shutting it down. I'm not saying nothing to her. You know, I'm not going to even talk to her about this in front of you guys because this is between me and her and my mama. You know, she was disrespectful to my mama and I'm not talking about this. I'm not doing this with you guys. So yeah, Tasha shuts it down, says she's not doing it. So Candy was just like, okay, you guys go maybe and try to handle the things that y'all going through personally together, and then once y'all work y'all shit out, come on back and maybe we'll try to figure out the group and see if we can get into this tour with SWV. So Tasha get up to leave, all right, goes out, and Tiny was like, okay, I'm gonna walk her out. So when she gets out there, you know, Tiny was just like, y'all need to get it together. And she was just like, I'm not doing nothing until she makes it right with my mom. We come from a praying family, and her going off on my mama like that is not right. So she need to fix it with her first. Yeah, Tasha say she don't like this as the older sister. You know, Tamika was wrong. And I was just like, look at her pulling rank. Yeah, there's a lot that they need to deal with there. Child, we believe Tamika. Now, jumping over to SWV. So they've been in Atlanta. They don't all live in Atlanta. Lily lives here in Atlanta, but Taj lives in Nashville, and Coco lives in, where did she say? DC? I don't even remember where Coco is, but Coco is up further. I want to say DC area or whatever. I can't remember. But anyway, they've been here in Atlanta for about a month. Of course, because I'm sure they got to do the show, and everybody else is here in Atlanta. It's just the two of them that aren't here. So they've got to travel down here. But they've also been traveling as a group. Remember, they was in Africa. They had that party that they did and other things. So they finally get to go home and get a little break. So we see Taj get home. She's still with Eddie George. They have their son. Their son is now a senior in high school. And, you know, she said that all of the boy's young life, that's all he knew was his mom being on the road. So now that he's a senior, she really wants to try to make it a point to be around a little bit more, you know, so that she don't miss all of the, you know, all the things that you do in your final year in high school. So, but yeah, they're very happy to see Taj, you know, and she's just sitting around talking to him. She asked the son, did he know about Xscape? He was like, no. I was just like, you know, these kids, they don't know. Her son wouldn't know who Xscape is, considering, you know, but maybe if she was a girl, maybe if he was a girl, he would know. Maybe he would be more familiar because, honey, Jada know SWV and TLC and all of them. She is definitely a 90s music fan. And then we see Coco get home. You know, she's lives with her son and her mother and their dog. Okay, so she greets them when she gets there. She said they're all very, very close. She tells us about her life and how she was raised religious, and her mom taught her how to sing, basically. Her mom was what they called a session, did she say a session singer? And I guess she like trained people, you know, with their vocals or whatever, even worked with Luther Vandross before he was the Luther Vandross. Okay. But anyway, when SWV was getting together, she said that, you know, since the mom was so religious, no secular music, anything like that. They told her at first it was a gospel group, but then when things started to really start happening for them, she had to go on and tell them that it wasn't gospel. And the mama, okay, she got on board when Coco had enough to buy her a car. Okay, that's usually how it goes. So Coco has two boys. I didn't know that. I thought she only had one son, but she has one son that's an emo rapper. What does that mean? Did I miss the word? I was just like, what is an emo rapper? Y'all know, Rocky don't know. Somebody put me up on game. And then she has that other son that's there. Now, I knew about him, who has a beautiful voice as well. He wants to be a singer, you know, wants to do it professionally. So the mama is telling him that, you know, he's growing, he's getting older, he's changing. The things that he wanted when he was 10, he don't want when he's 20. You know, he might change his mind again. It's looking like the mama is trying to persuade him to kind of like not go into that field, or at least telling him to give it some time. But yeah, that boy can sing. So you know, that's probably his calling. All right, you guys, next we see Candy. Candy goes to the studio. Okay, y'all know Candy says she be in the studio. She says she used to always be in the studio 5-6 times a day, just getting it all out, you know. And Candy lets us hear one of her songs. This one is called Only For You. I'm gonna give you a little taste, just a little. It's just for you, hey, only for you, hey. I said, sing it, Candy. Y'all checking for Candy song. Maybe we can get somebody else to sing it. God bless Candy's heart. We love Candy, y'all. Candy say that she used to be in the studio all the time, but she can't do it like that no more because she's busy. Okay, she got housewives. She has restaurants. She's on Broadway producing plays. You know, she's a wife. She's a mother. She got this damn show she trying to do, Xscape. She trying to tour. You know, it's like she don't really have the time anymore, but that still is her first love. So anyway, Todd is there with her, and they're just talking about like the problems that Xscape has had, and Todd brings what is the obvious and the fact that there's always been bad blood, not bad blood, but just a lot of resentment, I think, between Tasha and Candy, because Tasha, you know, Tasha apparently has some issue with how far and, you know, how successful Candy has been. She didn't get to the level that Candy had gotten to when everybody would always tell Tasha that she had the best voice or whatever, but apparently Tasha feels like she should have been the one to get what Candy got. I mean, I'm sure Candy had to work hard to get what Candy. This shit ain't just been handed to Candy, you know? So that is the underlying problem there, even though Tasha will not admit that. Because when we see Tasha talking at the same time that they're showing this scene, it is their 27th anniversary, her and Rocky's, and she's packing. I'm not sure where she's going. But when she comes downstairs, he's all made breakfast for her, and I still have the question of what happened with the damn side chick. Nobody told me in my comments last week. I still ain't forgot about it, okay? But whatever. They sit down, they having breakfast, and Rocky is trying to be the supportive husband. You know, you and Xscape, you guys been together all this time. You know, it's something special there, but you and Candy not on the same page. I was just like, how does Candy get pulled out when Candy just been trying to make sure everybody do the damn group so we can do this tour? Like, you having problems with Tamika right now, but how is it that we still concentrating on Candy? She said they bumped heads, and yes, there is a resentment there, but she feels that Candy feels resentment towards her for some reason. I was just like, nah, girl. Candy has no reason to feel anything towards you. Candy is living her best life. And Tasha could be living her best life as well. We're not trying to say that Candy is the only one that can come up out of this whole thing. Okay, but you constantly having Rocky in your ear telling you that Candy is the reason that you guys can't seem to work it out, when her and Candy not even fighting. I mean, yeah, Candy and her have always had this underlying issue or whatever, but they was able to get past it back in the day to work through it. So really the bigger problem right now is Tamika and Tasha. Oh my God, I was just like, how many years later are we still talking about this mess? She says that when they were together and then, you know, everybody wanted to go solo. She had a solo project. Hers got shelved for some reason, but Candy came out with hers, and just the timing of it all. And I was just like, how long ago was that? Even if it was kind of shady back in the day, I mean, you still holding on to that? You still holding on to that after everything that you guys have been through, and you guys have talked about it and all of that? You still can't get past that, you know? So yeah, she likes to make it seem like Candy is the reason why they haven't been able to progress and move forward. But really, it's Tasha. And that's why I said this gonna be a long season, because honey, we gonna be seeing Tasha in denial the whole time, and child, ain't nobody got time for that. It is truly ridiculous. But anyway, lastly, we see Tasha and Rocky. They go to Motown Gospel, because you guys know, and side note, she did release the song, and the song is beautiful. She sounds really, really good. Okay, it is it's gospel, it's inspirational, I would say, because it's words that you could use for God, or you could use for a relationship or something, you know. So it's kind of still toting that line that like BB and Cece used to do back in the day. All right, but yeah, beautiful song, beautiful voice. Anyway, they go there to Motown, and you know, the guy was just like, okay. She sits down with two people from the label. And so he's like, okay, so why now? Why are you going solo? And she says, because, you know, she just has something on her heart that she wants to get out. Okay, she's been in this group all this time. Can't necessarily do it when you are part of a group. So now she just wants to be breaking out on her own and, you know, giving the praises to the Lord. Okay, and he was like, okay, well, that's good. How are you going to juggle this, though? Because I know you with Xscape and everything. Like, do they know that you're doing this? And she says no. So the people was like, oh, so are you intentionally not telling them? And she says, well, I feel like I said, yes, she's intentionally not telling them right now. But she says she's protecting her vision. You know, that she feels like she needs to keep it pretty close to the vest until she's ready for everybody to know what she's doing. So they're excited about her being there. You know, are you one of those artists that can like sing at the drop of a dime, even if you're sitting at a conference table and somebody at the label asks to hear you sing? And she, you know, so I mean, Tasha has always been able to sing, so that's not even arguable. So yeah, Tasha says she want to do this, and you know, she is going to do it with her man by her side. I said, girl, if you got you and Rocky, then it hurt my heart to say it, but I almost want to be like, girl, go on and do y'all thing. It's a shame, but that Tasha, ooh, she gonna be tiring all season, you guys, her and Rocky. I said, ooh, it brings back memories from that damn R&B. What the hell was the name of the damn show? I used to review it and everything. But ooh, they used to wear us out then, you guys, and here it is, 10 years later, same shit, different day. All right, you guys, let me get on off of here. I have to go and get a CAT scan. Not looking forward to it at all. I didn't even know I had to get it until this morning. And so y'all prayed a good prayer for your girl. I mean, you know, I feel like everything is going to be fine, but it is something I need to take care of. So, yeah. Not looking forward to it, but let me tell you why I feel pretty good today. Because I ain't at that damn other assignment no more. Woo! Bitch, I am so glad that's over. I got an email from them, you know, because we didn't do no big announcement that I was leaving. I was just like, don't even tell them I'm leaving. I'm just gone, okay? So some people don't know I'm gone, so I got an email today, and I was just like, honey, looked at that and kept on with my day. Ain't even go paying no attention. Somebody, they'll figure it out eventually, child. But anyway, let me get on. Make sure that you thumbs up the video, comment, and subscribe to this channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is itsrox. And everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.